Forward podcast. We have everybody here on time
On
and
time.
live.
Let's go.
Um, I don't know when the
Yay.
last time that happened was.
Never?
Maybe
No,
never.
Ooh.
week
But
before it was like our first or second show.
I feel special now.
but
I know.
we're also joined by our very special guest, the Dirty Toro himself. You've seen him in the end zone wearing number 69, hence the name Dirty Toro. Thank you for joining us on today's edition of the Horns Forward podcast. And I'm going to start it like I always start the podcast that I'm on, with one of these. Oh, yeah. Because they still sell these at my HEB. So
That was
it's
good
still,
ASMR. That was a good one.
oh, yeah. It's,
Yeah, that was
Yep. Oh, that was a good remake too.
Oh,
The remix.
Hey, Jackie's been nice today. I see that.
Man,
I've been
so-
trying. You've been testing my patience though. Let me tell you what.
Dang, let me be quiet then.
So I guess let's go ahead and get started. Let's get to know the Dirty Toro a little bit. So tell us, where did this come from? Where did you get the idea? Like, how did the Dirty Toro come to be a thing
Yeah.
besides the number 69?
No, absolutely. Like,
Oh my goodness.
it was a culmination of things, to be fair. Like, in my college days, Dirty was my nickname. And I am a part of a super fan group for a really popular, amazing NFL team. And
You can say that which one. You can say the team.
The Vikings, yeah, skull. But that is my that's my actual name in there. It's Sir Dirty. Everyone has Sir or whatever. So, and then all of us Dirty Toro. It made sense. Like and I met you guys at the Alamo the first meeting we had, and even Jay threw me on the podcast with Dirty, and I was just like sure. I was just kind of like, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know anyone. I showed up in this mask because everyone think I'm an idiot, and the other luchadors in the mask, and we just became friends, and it just clicked. And at that point, it just made sense. I added one more thing: the gloves, the cape. I was just like, and then my kids got involved. My kids, and then with my kids getting involved, that made it like almost like a family thing. We all could add one more thing. What are you gonna like? We started finding stuff online. Hey, you gonna add this? But it was just great. It was fun.
Oh, that's awesome. And I think that's a good just representation of how the Brahmas just kind of took over San Antonio. First, it was like, well, this one person went, and then, hey, why don't you bring a friend? And then another person came, and another person came, and then it's kind of just piled on and became this community that we're so proud to be a part of. I got to tell you, and we're thankful to have people like you as part of the community, because you're what makes it fun. You're what makes it memorable. I gotta say, and before I pass it to another one of my co-hosts, my favorite thing that you did was the Orlando Guardians playbook.
Yes.
That was like chef's kiss, man. That was awesome.
Yes.
That was hilarious. I loved it, man. That was so clever.
That's
Yeah.
literally what's gonna be my question is like after because I even saw like in the Orlando fan club, like did you see that Brahmas fan that had the playbook? Like how did that feel? Like how did that even like whose idea was it?
Well, it was my idea, and then Vanessa Dawson, she actually brought it to life. But like, just like, let's make it fun. Let's make it extra. Let's do something that much. It was great because it's like in Texas. So I thought, well, let's give him a little bit of ribbing. Let's make it classy. Let's keep it cool. Like to kind of like continue to like do it in a good way. And I saw something to some, keep it like classy, but have fun. It's all about growing the experience, making it that much better and engaging all the fans and making it light, but at the same time, like I said, mind you draw, and I felt like it made sense. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we loved it so much. Is that kind of where our flag derived from? Because it happened right after y'all poked fun at Orlando. Jason had the idea for us to make fun of DC. So I'm like, we should just have something for every team, just a little jab at them, a funny one
Of course.
that we could get on TV. that's literally all around the dome. I think next
Oh,
year
yeah.
we need to pass out some more of the fake ones, so it's just everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's all about having fun. It's having laughs at the other team's expense.
Yes.
But even and the best thing, I think I sold some of y'all. The guy that threw that touchdown, he laughed at the playbook. He came up, he was putting, he turned around, he goes, "That's laugh." He said, "That's what's up." And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And I was like, "I know what you're gonna do next." It was fun. It was a good game.
I know the Orlando Guardians, the players, they got a kick out of it. The fans obviously got a kick out of it. And I know a lot of the Brahmas players definitely got a kick out of it, and the coaching staff, just from having spoken with them. That was one of those things that in that game, apart from getting the first win in the Alamo Dome, that was just one of those things that it was memorable, and you just remember it, and again, it's part of what makes the community great, and what makes the experiences memorable. I mean, here we are. That happened in April, and we're now in the middle of June, and we're still talking about it. That's how awesome it was.
Yep.
But go ahead, DJ.
Oh, and I was about to say, quick question. I just wanted to know where your name came from, because I'm looking at your name. It says Dirty Toro, live from the Alamo basement. Where's the live from the Alamo basement come from?
Well, there was this one guy, and he's not from this area, and we clearly threw it out there. and then literally I met him.
Oh my God!
Right there, that's a representation. Yeah, and it just became like it's an inside joke that we continue to It just makes sense. It's like you and I were chilling there.
I don't know that guy though. So I don't know what you're talking about.
He said chilling there.
I don't know that guy, so I can't really speak on that. You know what I'm saying? It might be somebody else. I forgot the other dude, Chris. Maybe him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, they are obsessed with you. Or he's obsessed with you, Chris is.
Yeah, man, that's insane. But I mean, it's something. It's different. Like I didn't know it was. It was a joke, but of course, me not being from here, I didn't catch on because I was like, oh, I didn't know. I mean, they, you know what I'm saying? Like I just
and
didn't
now
know.
it's never going away.
Now it's an ongoing joke.
Every
like,
podcast, it has to be mentioned. It has to be
somebody
mentioned.
about the basement.
Every
and
episode.
One thing.
Every episode, somebody did something in the basement and this and that.
Is this if I rib on you or give you a hard time? It's because I like you, and I think you're cool and you're awesome. And I met you and your kid that one time.
Oh,
I appreciate it though. I appreciate it.
So if I'm giving you static, that's because that's the thing. Like that. Like if that's who I am. Like I expect it in return. I like that's a big thing.
So do you have any anything planned for like next season with your wardrobe, or are you gonna keep it the same?
Yeah. No, I mean
you ain't gotta say too much. I know Jorge got something planned. He ain't telling us, so you ain't gotta say too much.
We'll see how it goes. Like it's I've had some ideas, and then even enhancing my kids. My kids are just equally excited about. Hey, just give me this, and I'm spending all kinds of money to enhance their wardrobes. And with Father Days around the corner, they're super excited. Like, Dad, I need a cape. I need this. So we're working on stuff.
Do they have their own nicknames?
Oh, that's a good.
They don't. Yeah, because we're gonna separate the dirty. That's me.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a good question for you to answer for our friend Jared. Are you ripped like the Ultimate Warrior from the early '90s?
Not from what I say in the Alamo beer. He got that. He was drinking a lot of beer.
He was drinking a little too many of these.
That's payback. I had to get one in. That's payback.
Well, I can say I'm not ripped. I'm ripped most games, but not like the Ultimate Warrior, mostly.
Ripped off a Brahma beer is what
you're
Truth.
I try my best, but yeah, definitely not.
So what's up with the beat? How is the BWO? What's that like?
it's cool. It's another thing that continues to excite fans. It continues to it's like the Brahmaholics World, or it's just one more thing. Age everyone and get everyone excited about what we're doing. And I made some flags that you can see.
Oh,
You got a Viking tattoo?
Four of them actually. There's only
I've
two.
seen it. It's pretty incredible.
This is what I got. I got the Sir Dirty across here, and then I have another one on my back. That's if I praise and love or down on the team like full throttle. So that's why I took it to every game with the Brahmas. I was like, I want to add one more. I want to continue to engage everyone. The best thing is like, and all you guys can probably relate to it, is like the kids coming up to you, take a picture with you. I was like, I guess. and I was so excited. They're excited. I wanted them to continue to say, hey, Mom, Dad, bring me to the game. It was so much fun. Everyone, because if you love your city and you love a sport and you want to continue to bring professional sports to your area, why not be an ambassador for that? Like, it's not that hard.
Amen
it's not
to that.
hard.
Yeah, and I love seeing like all the different styles of luchadores that are coming around, like the little football ones, those teenagers that have like their pads on, like it's a little following, and I like to see how the group is starting to come along.
Yeah, that's Kat. I got to know him and his kids. Like literally, I met them at Alamo. We're texting and we're like, "What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna show up? I'm gonna be on this spot." Like all of a sudden, we became. That's why I like to continue to go with them.
Yeah, no, and one of the things is that a lot of people may not know this who aren't from San Antonio, but San Antonio is a huge wrestling city. It's a big hub for people who want to get into the professional wrestling business. I really feel like the luchador masks not only play to the Hispanic influence and the Mexican influence that the city has, but it also pays homage to the wrestling culture that the city is known for in the wrestling community. I mean, you have the BWO, for example, right there, which I think is becoming a really solid fan group that it can only grow from here. I kind of see it becoming like a supporters group, kind of like the way that you would see like in a soccer team. But then you have like, you guys are known for the masks and you guys are known for the wrestling references, and like it's become this really awesome thing that I think pays really good homage to the city of San Antonio, the what is popular here outside of football, and just being able to mesh it together. Like Brahma Babe said, the belt, also seeing the belt. So many people love the belt, and then you combine that with masks like yours, and it's a perfect blend of just uniqueness that I don't think you can find in any other market in the XFL. And I know I'm kind of like tooting our own horn here with bragging on the Brahmas, but it really
we're
is
allowed to.
But I mean, I will say, like, it
We
really,
have some
like,
of the dopest fans, like we really do.
they're like, you look at ESPN, like you look at the different games, and there's a lot of attention on the fan base in San Antonio because of how people dress up for the games and get into the spirit of the games, which I think just makes it even better and is much more inviting for people to come out and just be themselves. And a big part of that is just like you said, it started off like, am I gonna be a freak like doing this? Like, am I gonna be weird? But then you see it, and
it worked. It's great.
yeah, no, I mean I'm really glad that you decided to do it and stick with it, and I'm excited to see kind of what Dirty Toro 2.0 and the gang come up with next year. Yeah, like you said, I mean it's great for the kids, it's great for the family. And it's great for the cameras. There's a reason why our fan base was one of the most well liked ones across the league.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Y'all pictured very well in the end zone. Oh, Jay got something.
Jay, you
Jay
got
got
the finger
something.
up.
Yep. So,
Here it comes.
Dirty, I know it's going to be kind of hard for people to recognize you out of your costume, but like I ran into you at the SAFC game. What's it like running into people that actually recognize you and be like, "Hey, it's Dirty Toro," and they're making that kind of connection, knowing that you're one of the super fans, of this awesome group.
It honestly, like, first, like they're saying like, oh, it's like, yeah, I do it because it's fun. My family loves it. Really, it almost becomes like, I don't want to say like a responsibility, but I want to grow the brand. Like you said, Antonio, I'm all about this city, and the luchador, like Jorge mentioned, that kind of represents our brand and who we are and our fabric and what we're about. We're about treating people the right way. Like, it's interesting because you go, like, even at the SFC, come get free beer, it's the same culture. It's ingrained in our fiber, and I love the idea that we're that fan base, no matter what sport, no matter what, and we see it experience it, and once they do, they're gonna love this. The Brahmas, SFC, embrace the city, embrace the culture, and embrace professional sports. If you want about.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I mean, I know I used to be an SAFC ticket holder, and I've always loved the the tailgate environment that they've had. Although it's always been small, I'm glad that the Brahmas were able to just blow it out of the water right from the get go. Relatively speaking, but also tailgating really isn't a soccer thing. So I can understand where that kind of plays into a little bit of it. But yeah, no, I mean, like you said, I am looking forward to a future where it's not trying to compete with different sports teams in the city. It's everyone's united under the flag of the city of San Antonio, and we're all repping our teams and our cities and wherever whether it's SAFC, whether it's the Spurs, the Brahmas, the Missions, whoever it may be. Yeah, like if you see someone wearing something that says San Antonio, in, let's say you're in, vacationing in Las Vegas, or you're in New York, and you see San, you're like, hey, I'm from there, and they're like, hey, so am I, and then all of a sudden you just made a new friend, which is awesome. I know I've had a lot of people, like specifically on the TikTok videos that I've made recently, that have noticed this hat and they've seen the logo and they've just immediately resonated with them. And so I love to be able to see like Brahmas fans in the wild, with it being such a new organization. It's been awesome. It's like one of those things I was saying, or like I've said it before. You see someone wearing a Brahmas thing, like at like HEB, and it's like, you're not at the point where you're like, hey, what's up, compadre? Like, but you're like,
it's an
like,
inner smile. It's an inner smile.
Yeah, it's like a little head nod, like, hey, I see you. I see you.
Towards forward.
It's one of
I
these.
saw a family at the park. The lady had this little workout shirt on. I didn't know who they was, but I was with my kids, so I saw them from a distance, and I saw the little girl had the little youth Brahmas logo shirt on, and then the mom had like a workout cut off little Brahmas shirt on. So it was. I'm seeing more. Like, I've seen more, and I've seen one at my kids' daycare. I was coming out dropping my son off, and I saw somebody with a Brahmas shirt on from a distance. I was like, golly, we seeing more gear out here. That's good. So
I saw this guy a while back at the I forget what field it was, but it was a soccer field, and it turned out it was DJ. He was wearing his Brahmas hat, but I saw the hat from across the field. And I was like, "Oh, it's a Brahmas fan! Heck yeah, I'm gonna go." It's DJ. Never mind.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. Wow.
But you mentioned that your kids over the course of the season were getting more and more into it. I can definitely relate. My son, he's now 3 years old, and now whenever he sees me wear this hat or we drive by the Alamo Dome, he's like, I want to go watch the Brahmas. Or if he sees me drinking one of these, he's like, look, it's the Brahmas. Can we go to the Alamo Dome? And I'm like, son, they're not playing. So like, how is it like impacted your kids, and like over the from week 1 to the end of the season, like how have the Brahmas impacted your family and your children, if at all?
You have no idea. Like, there's one thing. My son is outside this year. He's like, Dad, can I come on?
Bring him in.
It's literally, I don't know, it might be an adult thing. Hold on, I'll get him.
We're a family-friendly show. It's perfectly fine.
Hey, while we wait, we got something coming up too. Once we're gonna do a little transition from
there it
Toro.
is.
He's gonna stay on with us, and we're gonna talk about some
There
other
he
things.
is.
Yeah.
I got bored watching. Hello.
Yo,
What's
horns
up? How's
forward,
it going? Horns forward. I love it. This is exactly what we wanted. I mean, we wanted it to be the whole family. It's not just dads or, crazy people. It's a whole, all San Antonio is full of crazy people, including the kids.
Hold up, before you go, man. Tell us about your favorite experience from the Brahmas season.
Probably say my favorite experience is like that one time when like the other teams, they were trying to come celebrate with us, and my dad was like, "Go away, go away."
Nice.
I'm sure it had to be Orlando or something.
Yeah.
What was it? You was it you who was it? Jacquez Patrick almost broke your hand from how hard he high-fived you. Was that you?
That was me.
Yeah, he. By the way, he remembered that, and he was like,
did.
after he's like, after I did it, I was like, ooh, yeah. I think I might have did that a little too hard.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was just like, dude, I think he broke the next. Holy crap, my hand hurt.
But he said he was really excited, and he just saw you, and he was just like, I'm going to this section right here. So you guys, are you guys planning on staying in the same section next season?
Yeah, that's the hope. Like, I love that section. Like, me, my kids, it's a ruckus. It's fun down there, and it keeps the energy on that level. And I want to get. Why not? Like, let's get it everywhere.
Yeah,
Let's.
I 100% agree. Yeah, and you can also, or you could be like Jason over there, who will get rowdy behind the visitors bench and wreak havoc. So yeah, I guess question here from Justin for you, Dirty. How long was your hand hurting after that initial Jacquez Patrick high five?
Like, it was sore. Like, the next day, I was smarting real bad, and I was just like, I couldn't remember why. He said, "You're an adrenaline. There's things going." The next day, I was like, "Why does it hurt?" And I watched the replay, and that's what happened.
Nice.
The exact moment.
Nice.
I was like, it was great. Yeah. And the best part is my daughter and my son both had their hands on. Because if not, we'd be like in the ER for the kids.
Yeah.
No, we do not want that.
Yeah, we don't want that.
And I was like, yes, thank you.
So since you're gonna stay on with us, man, and rock out with us for the rest of the episode, right? We're gonna transition a little bit, right?
You can get comfortable. You can take the mask
you
off.
can take the mask off, bro.
You can take the
You'd
mask
love
off.
to.
Yeah.
If you want to.
It's about to get a little fun, man. It's about to get a
Full
little fun.
reveal when you're ready. Full
Oh
reveal.
yeah.
I know you luchadors, you gotta like to keep those masks on and be mysterious.
Yep.
So we're gonna get it. We're gonna make it a little fun, and I know a lot of people from different groups are on here too as well, so they can chime in as well. But so one of the posts I've came across, and I was like, oh, that'd be great for like something for us to talk about, right? So on the San Antonio Brahmas XFL fans group, my guy Alex Alvarez made a post, and he was like, what might be some of the new changes that we might see in an XFL in 2024, right? So I guess y'all can go first. Give me just one that y'all might see or that y'all want to see.
Yeah, let's cover all of that.
Go ahead. Who first?
Good.
One of y'all.
All right. I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, you're top corner.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Hey,
top corner.
Mariachi?
So now that we have a full off season, I want to see more community engagement. I think
Explain.
so. The mural, I think,
So
was
pushy.
a good first step
Hey,
to be able to get the Brahmas out into the community, because that mural definitely, especially during championship week, made its rounds on social media. It's still there.
explain if
So-
people don't know what that is, because they might not follow.
So one of our players
Pull up the picture.
in
Jordan
the off
Williams.
season, Jordan Williams, in the off season when he's not playing football, he is an artist, and a very talented one at that. And so in downtown there is a big push to get street art on a lot of the buildings, and so he was commissioned by the XFL and by Centro SA to beautify one of the buildings in downtown, which happens to be, I think it's McMurphy's Irish Pub. And on the back end there, it's got a leprechaun, obviously, for the Irish Pub, but it's got a lot of references to San Antonio. It's got him catching a ball. I don't like to put this out there, but it's got my face on there. But I think like having a lot more community engagement and just being out in the community outside of downtown is something that I would really like to see more of, especially throughout the off season, because you have to be able to in order to keep people interested in the Brahmas, in the XFL. It's a year-round job. It's not just let's pick up after week 16 of the NFL when we're in playoffs and all right, training camp is starting, let's ramp it up. Like, I want to see this is something that we've wanted for so long in San Antonio, that let's keep the party going all year round. If they're still selling these at HEB, let's keep the party going all year round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for me, I think because of just me being the whole Marbach gear, I really do hope that they come out with better quality and more options of like gear, period. Like stuff that we can buy.
Yup.
And at decent
XFL,
prices.
drop that UA merch, man.
And at decent prices too. Like even like, I want to buy that chair, but man, that's a little rough on the pocket. But yeah, I love the stuff that I have bought. I've bought every single shirt that they offer for the Brahmas. So I mean, I'm still gonna buy it, but I hope they come out with more things, better quality too. That's my hope. Merch wise, that's what I'm hoping next season.
Yeah, I know. I tagged my wife in the merch post for Father's Day, and I was like, "Wait a minute! I think I already have everything that she would buy me anyways."
Yep.
You, Jay?
So Jorge kind of stole part of what I wanted to say because it's an incredible idea, right? And Jackie 100% stole what I wanted to say because, again, it's a great idea, right? We need these things. I would say after that, the thing I would like to see would be better scheduling, right? I know. I'm sorry. I
You good.
But
God dang.
the scheduling was, I think, and it wasn't just for us. I mean, we experienced a lot of that pain, but there were other teams that experienced it as well, right? And other fan bases that had odd schedules. There's another league that I won't mention the name of. They have even though nobody's showing up and watching the games, and they're giving away 50-yard line seats for $15 with a hot dog and a beer, nobody's showing up to those games, but those games are on prime, television spots.
Right.
That's what XFL should be doing. And I understand, this is the first year. I'm hopeful, and I believe it deep down in my heart, right, that little grain of hope, that we're gonna have a better opportunity next year, because now that the numbers are coming out, and now you can actually do apples to apples comparison to a certain extent, right? There are some streaming services that you can't get data from, and then you can't really compare, but for the most part, you can get pretty accurate TV numbers. And the XFL viewership, for the most part, is blowing every other competition's doors completely off. So I'm hoping that, and the fact that, Dwayne Johnson is involved with this, and he can use kind of his influence to maybe convince, the executives at Disney and XFL, give us a little bit better, primetime coverage. Maybe some Saturday games and some decent Sunday afternoon games, maybe Saturday night games instead of Sunday night at 9 p.m., things like that. That way it gives the fans more opportunity to engage.
Not on Easter?
Yeah, not on Easter. Well,
not on a holiday.
Not on an important holiday like that in a city like this, right?
Yeah.
But that's what my hope is that we can use the momentum that we've gained, the momentum that we're going to continue to gain in the off season with our fan fests and with all the other different things that we're going to do. P.S. Other fan bases around the league, make sure you're doing this stuff in the off season. Also, continue to keep that pressure going. So, we've got full stadiums when we kick this off next February. Okay. That's a little side note, but hopefully we can use that to, again, garner better TV coverage so that we can continue to push this thing and do our part. That's my hope.
Oh, and on a side note to that, Jay, I just want to let people know whoever is thinking about renewing their tickets but are hesitant because of the scheduling, just know that our ticket office and our ticket representatives do not have any control or knowledge of the schedule. So cut them some slack. If they say we don't know, they genuinely do not know.
Yes.
So yeah, cut them some slack. We have some of the best ticket reps. We're very blessed to have some of the best ticket reps and the best ticket office in the league. So if that is one of the things that's kind of holding you up from renewing your tickets, just know they don't have any control over that.
Right. Well, and let's take that a step further. Don't let the schedule scare you off, right? If it was an NFL game, Sunday night games are played on NFL. People pack the stadiums for that, right? There's ways to work around this. Don't let the schedule, even if it's not an ideal schedule, don't let the schedule scare you off. Because I'm telling you, pound for pound, this is the best purchase that you can make. It is that much fun. I mean, look at us. A bunch of people that chances are we may have crossed paths once or twice in our lives, but we wouldn't have this camaraderie, right? And this all comes from being part of that Brahmas fan group. And that comes from us all being season ticket holders. So we want to encourage everybody to have those kinds of relationships with their neighbors in the fans or in the stands as well, right? That's what you need to focus on, is the value of what you're getting, not just from on the field, but all this right here, right? You guys can have that too. So
100%.
Get a hold of your ticket rep. If you don't have one, let one of us know. We'll get you plugged in with somebody. Get your season tickets as soon as you possibly can before they're all sold out. Because I got a feeling with as much momentum as we gained with no advertising, if we're going to have better advertising next year, those tickets are going to go pretty fast. And then they're going to have to open up the upper tier. And then you're going to have to take a Sherpa and some oxygen to be able to get up there.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the post like when the season was starting. Like, hey, who's section 107? Shout out. So I can't wait to see those again.
134. What?
108.
DJ, what about you, my man?
Let Dirty Turtle go first. Go ahead, man.
Well, I mean, like I said, continue to grow the brand. The biggest thing is that I can tell you what drew me to the games and continue to draw my kids is like they were begging me. The players are going to be there. let's go to all these places. And I was taking them there, and they would get signatures. And there was a guy, Kevin Marks, I think it was a third string running back. He just got signed. And my daughter was like, he's my favorite. Nice to us. He was, and when you go to like other places, like that guy was a human. He literally would do it. It's like he was hanging out at the House of Pizza. I gave him a piece of it makes it like engaging. And my daughter's like, he's my favorite player. Is he gonna play? Well, baby, I'll throw it back. He might not get a lot of play. She was yelling, Kevin, yelling at the guy. That's what it's about. And that excited me. I was like, wow, we can have a common ground and we can enjoy stuff together. Continue to grow that brand in that way, and it will grow exponentially. I'm telling you, marketing outside of just social media would be great, because you'd go around the town, it's like there'd be kids are like, there's nothing here. It's like it's gonna come. But that's the big thing, is continue some more affordable merchandise, so then that way, like put in the HEBs, like where, like, and people wearing it becomes a representation of the brand. And people ask questions, what is that? Well, they may show up. And I recruited all my friends. I told you, all the Vikings people out of town. I was like, dude, come on, it's fun. No, it's below. No, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna. And I got all of them out there.
They'll be Brahmas family, right?
When they were converted, they were like, yeah.
And that's the cool thing is, like, you're sitting here, you're a Vikings fan, you're sandwiched between two Packers fans, a Cowboys fan, and then a Patriots fan. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
I want to put the wrong finger up right now, but it's a family show, so I'm gonna let y'all slide this time.
It's any football. The footballs are.
No, and you bring up a good point about, like, having so much access to the players, because, like, I wanted to show this picture right here that I took at Alamo Beer. Like, this right here, like, there's no way I would. This is now an NFL kicker. There is no way that I would ever get this kind of access to an NFL player where I can just go up to the bar and there he is hanging with his family. Like, that's just one of those things that I'm just like, it's incredible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and then just like when the last fan fest or the fan gatherings that they had for the players, like at the Dick's Sporting Goods and all that, Jackie ran the entire gauntlet that night.
Oh yeah.
And literally went to 5 spots, something like that.
I think I just missed the HEB. And no, I didn't went to HEB. I think I went to all of them. I think I
went to all of them. And then we wound up at the whatever that pizza place was over off of 1604 and I-10.
Terry's.
Yeah. The week prior to that, Nick Holly was with Arlington, I think it was.
Oh, he was with Houston.
No, Houston. He was with Houston. The next week, it literally Thursday, and then he got traded on Friday, and then he was in San Antonio at that pizza place on Saturday, and he hung out with us.
Yeah,
he literally was hanging out with us, talking to us. We're just a bunch of rowdy fans, right? We never, like Jorge said, you never get that kind of access to NFL players, but they're making it a point to come and talk to us and engage with us and hang out with us. Well, even the Fiesta Flambeau Parade, right? Coach Ward is hanging out with all of us, talking to us. We kind of moved as a group after a couple of minutes because we didn't want to crowd him and whatever. And then he moved over with us where we were at. And it was like, this is not the way this is supposed to work, Coach. Like, we're supposed to be following you around, not you following us, And so it's that engagement, that buy-in, because, just as much as the fans are buying in, so are the players. They're buying into the fans. And that's the thing that I love about this. And that's that engagement that you're talking about, Dirty, that we want to grow.
Yes, absolutely. And that picture he showed, like after that, Jorge looked at me and was like, that's Romo. And we all talked to him, and he was talking about soccer, and his mom was just like talking to me. And I was just like, I was kind of in a position where, like, I'm used to the other thing where, like, you gotta, they got 10 security guards. It was awkward to be used to that other experience. We were like, don't touch him, don't talk to him. You got to stand. We were just talking like people as humans. And at that point, I was like, this is awesome. I was like,
yeah, I mean,
this is great.
I've given him and his parents a hug and everything, and like they wrote us a letter, and like they have our address, and like it's become a family, and like which is why like I've said that the XFL has thrown a complete wrench into my NFL plans, which I know will upset some Packers fans out there, but like I am ready to pull the trigger on buying a Parker Romo Lions jersey and wearing that proudly. And like because he's my boy, like
face.
like I said, it's gonna upset some Packers fans, but when you
He's
can
already
say
right there.
I've got a friend who's playing in the NFL, I'm gonna support my boy, and the fact that I can even call him that, like, is just like I never in my life would have ever thought that. Ever.
No, 100% get that. 100% support that. I mean, you guys know I'm from Wisconsin, so I mean, I bleed green and gold, right? I would even be willing to buy the white away jersey and probably cut off the sleeves to take the blue off of them, and just have the white Romo jersey, right? I would be willing to compromise and do that.
So yeah, so with all that said, with all that being said, I kind of agree with all you guys. What's up?
No,
it's your turn to talk.
Oh yeah, no. I was on my way, but I kind of agree with all you guys. One thing that I can say on a positive note, with the fan engagement or the players engaging in the communities and stuff, they are kind of taking a step forward in that direction, because the word is they're supposed to be having like training camp in the areas or something like that. So which is a plus to me, because I get to go out or fans get to go out and see the players practice and in the team areas, so that way we can, we don't have to wait till they probably try to organize something before the season start league wise for the fans in the respective areas. But I like that we will have something before the actual season start, and we can actually, get used to the players, follow the players. Like, I mean, I wish we had more. Like, I know they did the player 54 thing, but I wish we had something more like team associated, like vlogs or, can you put Justin? Team vlogs or, just anything, like even like little docs, like you could do like mini docs, like how NFL teams are doing, like with just behind the scenes type of stuff, where we can get to know the fans, man. And I mean, I'll get to know the fans too, but get to know the players, so we will know, like, because a lot of people in the stands, when I went to the first game, they was just like, oh, so many players. But I'm like, I mean, I've been following it because I be on social media a lot, but I've been following the players, so I know kind of some of the players, but I also knew a lot of the players from different spring leagues and stuff like that. So they were like, how do you know all these players? I'm just like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just know them. So I mean, it'd be good for fans to like know the players before they get out there on the field, so they can be like, oh, I know such and such, and I know he's gonna do this. I know he's good at this, where they won't just be out there in the blue. But just focus on trying to get the players' names out there and let fans connect with the players. So that way, because we know that they're not probably going to be here long. Like a lot of people are mad that players are leaving to go to the NFL, but I'm like, that's what it's for. That's what the league is for. So, 100%. But for the time being, we only have 10 games, and then if they go to the playoffs, in the championship game, it's 12 games. So we have a short period of time with these players. So at least like let us try to get to know them a little bit before they, go off, and then we could follow them like Romo did, like we did on Romo. We follow him, like we following Jaquez, and we following Jack Cohn, like all these players following Luke Barku. These players that we following, we know them because, we just start to know them and then we follow them. So got to be more like with fan engagement with the players and stuff.
Yeah, no. And even like it gives you an opportunity to really also know more than the players, but also know them as a family. And here's another example that I want to show.
Exactly.
Like right here, this picture that I took right here in Las Vegas, this is the family of Camilo Tongamoa, one of our defensive linemen. This is all of his this is his brother, with the Lakers hat there, holding a little kid, or I mean, sorry, with the white hat, with the Zoa hat. That's his brother. All his cousins, his parents were there. They came out from California, obviously, because that was the closest one that they could, the closest game that they could attend. And just the fact that I was able to connect with the players' families at that very same game. I also met Alize Mack's dad, and I bought him a beer. And I said, "That's how we do it in San Antonio, man. Like I'm bringing San Antonio to Las Vegas, and while you guys are here, I'm gonna treat you guys like we're in San Antonio." So like you get to know the players much deeper on a much deeper level, than what you normally would, and take advantage of it while you can.
Absolutely. So today, right? We gonna transition again. So today we had the rookie draft. I know a lot of people was waiting on this, right? So we had the rookie draft. And I did a little research. I did a little look up the player that we had, and then look on YouTube. And then yes, the video that I posted, YouTube video on the Horns Forward podcast page, as well as the San Antonio Brahmas Facebook page, so you could kind of look at their highlight tape, see how they are as a player. But we drafted first of all, we drafted a tight end, 2 O-linemen, 2 wide receivers, 2 corners from the secondary, a linebacker, and a running back. What's your thoughts on those positions? A lot of people was calling for a quarterback, so what's your thoughts on those positions?
I'm good with them. I think the quarterback comes later.
Just think about the players that we lost and the players that we picked up for the first draft. I mean, I know throughout the year they probably are going to pick up a few more players here and there, but
because
those are just
HBCUs coming out, tryouts,
the showcases and stuff. So yeah,
Mhm.
but for the first rookie draft, what's your thoughts on those positions?
I think it's fabulous, right? I'm just
Same.
going to jump in and say it.
Okay.
Let's think about, again, like you were saying, the positions that we lost. Pretty much lost all of our defense, right?
Pretty much.
We had struggles with offensive line. We picked up 2 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, we were kind of hit and miss, right? We expected Vasher to have a much bigger year, didn't do as well as expected, and then he got hurt. And so I think these positions are great. Oh, and running back, right? We lost a running back halfway through the season. So I think these are phenomenal pickups for us. And it's going to be very interesting to see how they develop into the program, which one of these guys, hopefully, we obviously we want everybody to make the cut. And that's not necessarily going to see which one of these guys actually do, or if all of them do. That just means that we made phenomenal picks.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, and even like you mentioned the running backs, that one of them that we lost, being Kalen Balaj, that was one that I remember Coach Ward saying at the beginning of the season, I have no idea why this guy is even in the XFL. He should be in the NFL. And it's a shame that he got hurt. And hopefully, if he does decide to come back to the XFL and play for the Brahmas, he gets that opportunity to really showcase his skills on film, because between him and Jacquez Patrick, they had a 2-headed beast of a running attack that was really solid. So now that we've lost Jacquez and he's off, doing his NFL thing, we have a gap to fill. I obviously we don't want to have a one running back system, because running backs are, they go down easily. They take a lot of hits,
Yeah.
and
Short
as we
lifespan.
saw, as we saw with the offensive line as well, that was a revolving door of players. And so having 2 in reserve, ready to go, learning the system from the very beginning, that already is a good start to be able to just have those reinforcements ready to go.
Right. Anybody else got something? Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to jump in and say, so we're talking about, potential players coming back in the midst of us talking about our rookies. We noticed we didn't draft a quarterback. What do you guys think might be the chances of us bringing back one of our former quarterbacks, such as like Sinnott or even Ben Kurt? Please.
I could see Pass and Reed, maybe not Ben Kurt, but
Yeah,
I'm having
I
my
don't
fingers
see Ben
crossed.
Kurt coming back. I don't
Yeah.
see
Short
Banker
pass and
coming
Reed.
back. But yeah, I mean Reed Sinet, I mean he was a spark as soon as he was out there, and then he got hurt.
Right.
And then Hines Ward said he wanted to develop Jawan Pass throughout the first season and kind of take him under his wing. Except he had to throw him out there before he was ready to do so.
Yeah.
So I think having game time experience plus a full season of mentorship, we're going to see a much different and stronger Jawan Pass next season.
We might. And that
Okay.
could be why we didn't draft a quarterback.
And
Maybe.
and the thing is I mean an XFL roster does need 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think they're going to look for another one.
2
for
actives and one in reserve. So I think we're going to have a reserve quarterback with Reed Sinet and Jawan Pass being the 2 active quarterbacks, having already known the system. So I do see there being a quarterback who's going to be a reserve quarterback. Although I will say that I am a little jealous of the Roughnecks getting the quarterback from Incarnate Word. I think that was
Lindsey
one that
Scott.
he would have been good in San Antonio, obviously staying home. But before I pass it over to Jay, I do hope that they misuse him like they did to Nick Hawley, and he ends up back here where he belongs.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Jay.
What about this idea? What about the UTSA quarterback?
Frank Harris?
Yeah. Because this is his last year.
With what you guys are saying, like, in the only downside, like I was thinking about the draft, is that will grow the, like, because you're gonna get people that just root for the local person, underdog, to do that much better. God, yeah, Frank Harris if he came,
Agent Zero, man.
whatever, like, and he may not be the NFL caliber guys that went to the NFL. I want them to make it, but it's an invite. There's training camp, and they chop the roster, and all of a sudden, they may not be the person that may. And like I said, the big thing is like growing the brand, like just getting players, grow the brand, quality people too, and continue to engage the fan.
I could see Frank Harris being a good reserve quarterback, because if you think about it, he's going to, if he plays, in the XFL. But I mean, absolutely, Justin's got a point. That would instantly grow the fan base because that's going to bring a very popular UTSA player to the Brahmas, and we're going to get the UTSA fan base to come to the game to watch their boy. Yeah. But you also have to think about, from a player's perspective, that's a lot of football on his body. He's gone through spring training with the Roadrunners. He will have played an entire fall season in college, which would go from August to December. Once the bowl season is over, that would give him January to recover. February would be the start of the XFL season. Should he play, that would be February to May that he's playing.
I mean, players do that now, though.
Right, but then if he wants to go to the NFL, now all of a sudden he's playing 2 years straight
opportunity,
of football.
Legal opportunity, man. You got, if you want to get there, you got to put the work in.
Yeah,
100% agree. But I also think that there are, with this sport in particular, there are limits to what the human body can handle when it comes to football.
True, but if you think about the way the breaks kind of break down, right? Pardon the pun there, but he would get about a month to a month and a half off between each season, which is a pretty decent amount of time to rest and recover, especially if he's not going to be necessarily a starter or if he gets rotations. Because if he's on the roster with Sinet and Pass, they're not going to start him. I mean, they'll throw him in some games, but he's not going to get the most touches. So that gives him a chance to rest.
He might. If he put the work in, he might. He could go in there and outshine. He could go in the camp and outshine.
But
he could.
But what if the work is just him getting people to fill the dome?
That's true too.
I mean,
Can you imagine?
Depending on what they do, but if he performing at the same time, I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
In hopes that he plays.
He wins 2 conference championships or whatever, and then he comes out champion. Dude, we would carry him off outside the dome.
His feet would never touch the ground unless needed.
We could carry him to the Alamo basement.
a tattoo. I'm telling you, mark the tape or what too. Frank Harris, championship, XFL. Bam. Done. Because he'd be super local.
Period.
He's the guy. He has businesses
Yes.
here. Legend.
Yeah.
Legend.
Yep.
And so I think that's a kind of a good thing, a good segue to, you guys mentioned, is his job going to be to just fill the dome? And I kind of want to go back to an earlier comment that we had from Mike here, about the
I was
XFL
just
draft
about to
not
talk
being,
about that.
about
God
not
damn
being
it.
televised, and, just not having a lot of communication or updates.
How you feel
What
about
do you-
that? Oh, you asking us?
Yeah, I'm asking you
Oh,
guys.
I
like,
go
how do
first.
you-
I go first. I go first.
Yeah,
That
go
was
ahead.
actually it was in the top of my brain when we was gonna segue into that because I wanted to bring up that before we got off the draft topic. But if anything, right, and I know it's probably to them it's probably not a big thing, right? But to us as fans, that's a huge thing because you could have at least did something on the website like we did with the first draft.
Mhm.
Like have a ticker and have the play at least have the players names pop up that they selected. Something, man. You got to keep us engaged. That was a ball, and I think I don't want to bash on him. Yeah, I know.
I
I'm
was
saying like I don't
salty.
want to bash because I'm waiting. I'm the draft at 11. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm waiting. Then they don't. But I knew they wasn't going to stream it live or they wasn't going. We couldn't follow live, which was I think was a drop by the XFL because they should have done that.
Yeah,
At least a ticker, at least.
I agree. I felt like it was definitely a missed opportunity for just fans in general. It leads me to believe sometimes they don't understand how dedicated we are. That we're literally going to sit there at 11 o'clock on our phones while we're at work or something just to see what we got. And even if at the end of the day they don't end up as a Brahma, it's just excitement, like just to see how we're evolving and what could be.
Right.
So
Unless they end up in
I was
Arlington.
salty. Well, I don't even look at those. I was just looking at the Brahmas and I peeked at the others, but yeah, I felt I was salty. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little
Jay?
salty.
I 100% agree with you guys that this is a missed opportunity, and the what I'm looking at is the buzz that's around the draft. They did not have any kind of coverage really, other than a couple of posts, and it wasn't even necessarily live, and information was sparse at best, and people were still talking about it. Imagine how much shown the draft live via stream on ESPN 4 or whatever, like make up an ESPN channel for it and play it there. Having that kind of engagement, I really think they would have gotten a lot more of that free advertisement and that momentum that we've been talking about, and they really kind of missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Wait, real quick while we on the draft. I know we want to switch over to another topic, right? Jackie killing me. But like I said, I did a little research, and I know I said the positions that we had, but three for me personally, and I know y'all can go on the page, look at the videos and all that, and look them up, look at their stats and stuff like that. But three people personally for me that stood out was, of course, the first pick was Jaleel Billingsley, and I know a few people was talking about it on the group as well. He's listed as a tight end, but when I tell you he's playing like a wide receiver, I'm talking about explosive. He a little undersized for a tight end, but he reminds me of like a Kyle Pitts for Atlanta. Like he's real elusive. He can move around. He's quick. But yeah, I think that's a good threat. That probably can line up on the inside and as well as go on the outside as well. Chris Smith was the running back from Louisiana Lafayette. So he's 5'10", 200 pounds. He was on his videos. If you look at his highlights, he was doing kick returns. He was catching out the backfield and he was running a rock. So we was missing that last year, right? Because we kept talking about how we have all these power backs and stuff. So we was missing that shifty, elusive running back out the backfield. And he can, like I said, he also can run the ball off on the kickoffs, right? He has a great vision. He hit the holes pretty fast. So I'm excited to see how he do it for the Brahmas as well. And then lastly, Dylan Thomas was a cornerback from Missouri State. I saw him. He's kind of tall, but real skinny a little bit. Like he 189. I wouldn't say skinny, but he looked a little slim. but he's fast. He got a lane. He a good tackler, right? We was looking for those good tacklers, right? A lot of broken tackles. He also fast, and he's physical enough to play in a box, so he can. He had a lot of on this video on the timeline. He had a lot of tackles behind the line. So that's good. I mean, I like that. He remind me of like a Jordan Williams. That he can move around and pretty shifty, quick. So, but again, I put all those videos on Facebook page, so y'all can look back at those and put your results or whatever, or however you feel underneath the comments. But that's it.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
one last thing, I guess, before we move into our last topic here, and it's going back to Mike's comment there about it being kind of like a misstep as far as marketing and PR for the league. You also have to take into consideration that the league recently went through a lot of
Oh, yeah.
restructuring.
Maybe they didn't have people
With marketing specifically, and they basically raised the entire department and are building it up from scratch. So I don't think that there is anybody in those positions at the moment that would properly market it the way we would normally see, because those people just were let go. So while yes, it is a missed opportunity and it is a misstep,
But even the social media team could have posted that though.
Well, I think they did this at the best that they could with what they had, but it's not the same as having a full-on marketing team and director putting stuff out there that goes beyond social media. And so I think without having people in those positions, it makes it a little bit more difficult to properly market an event like this when there's nobody in those roles to do so just yet. There will be, but not at this current moment.
I don't know, man.
So,
I see the I hate to say the other team name on here, but I mean other league name on here, but the USFL, their marketing is ridiculous. Like they killing it with for sure social media, because I follow them on social media, and they killing with the graphics. They got the graphics team looking crazy. Even when the first what was last year when they did the USFL draft, I mean, like each team was posting the players that got drafted. Like it's just different, man. And I mean, I'm hoping, like I know we did a big old wash of the marketing department, but the next people that come in, man, they got a lot to get done, and you got to prepare for next season, and it's a lot of holes to fill, man, for sure.
Let me ask you this though, right? USFL's killing it in the marketing department, and everything like that. What's their revenue, right?
I don't know. I don't care.
Well,
they can't get fans in the stands. But I'm
telling you, it is
media part.
It is like some kind of drug money laundering.
I don't know. You know what? I honestly don't know, but I also think it'll probably do better if the actual teams was in their markets.
Oh, 100%.
That's what I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
what? You say what?
Fred's Fish.
Fred's Fish Fry.
You probably don't know about Fred's Fish. That's an off-light story.
Oh, okay. That must be from the basement, live from the basement.
It's
a basement thing.
Basement dance.
Okay, Jackie, go ahead.
Oh, is it my turn now to wrap
Go
it
ahead.
up?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, guys. So to keep the XFL fan series rolling, I'm just gonna show you guys who's gonna be on next week. We're gonna have the Predator couple joining us next Friday. Yep, Houston Roughnecks. So definitely join in and learn all about this couple that we've seen everywhere. They were at the championship game too. Really, really cool people. So we're excited to have them join. And the last thing that I wanted to tell you guys about was we had mentioned future events coming up, and we have a date that we would love for you to block off and save. I know there's other events happening that day, but it's going to be an all-day thing. Alert. August 5th, it is a Saturday, is going to be our first community event held by the fans, for the fans, and for the community, more importantly. More information will come out, but this is a set date. It will be an all-day thing because I do know that SummerSlam is that night. But we have times for all day, so everyone can still show up and then go do their SummerSlam thing later. But we'll be there all day. So just look out for more info on the XFL fan page that we have. And Save the date.
Yeah, just remember SummerSlam. That's when we're gonna be getting together.
Is that wrestling?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
wrestling.
I would have no idea, sir.
Yes,
Well,
it is.
we are big wrestling
Are you gonna-
city, so I had to let him know.
So, again, make sure you check the Facebook page. It is the XFL Brahmas. I'm sorry, the San Antonio Brahmas XFL fan page. All the details will be on there. And I guess I'll go ahead and jump in here. So, first of all, Robert, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Who's Robert?
I'm sorry, Dirty Toro.
He said your
Toro.
government name out
Oh,
here like that.
I just
man.
gave
Do
out a
that?
secret
God
identity.
dang it,
My
Jason.
apologies, sir.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
DJ,
Thank you.
DJ, you know.
So yes, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being a super fan. Thank you for doing what you do to bring that extra excitement to the XFL, getting your family involved, making
What the heck?
it what it truly is. We've talked about it before, but the XFL would not be what it is without the fan base. And that okay. Yes, I talk a lot with my hands. It's okay. You'll be
No,
fine.
you were
you
like
froze.
up.
you
were like,
froze.
Oh,
And it was
Yeah,
like a
you
really
freeze
cool
your-
little stance.
it's I stupid internet here. Anyways, thank you for what you do, Robert. Dirty Toro. Almost slipped up and said it again. With that being the case, guys, make sure every Friday night you're turning in to the best internet football show that's on the internet. That's your Horns Forward podcast. So with that, we'll see you guys. Horns Forward, baby.
Yeah.
See you guys next
So-
week.
Bye.